What is up, guys? It is the Redstone Scientist here. Welcome back to another episode of TRS's World. What is up, guys? Welcome back. Today in TRS's World, I've got a bunch of exciting things planned. We're going to be doing one project in particular that I'm really excited about, and also a few updates on what's been going on. So you're going to hear a little bit more about what's been happening in the past 6 weeks in a time-lapse chat that's going to be happening later. But for right now, let me turn this up. But for right now, I wanted to talk about the Guardian farm. Wow, that is a weird glitch. That happens often. As you guys just saw, I've been doing a lot of work on the Guardian farm. It is completely done other than the sorting system. So, yeah, Guardians are just spawning like crazy in here. Like, oh, that's not going to kill me, but yeah. So Guardians are spawning like crazy. You can see there are drops everywhere. And I've been starting to set up some of these sorting things. The problem is these hopper minecarts, man, they're just so unreliable. I guess what I really need to do is, and have I even finished these? Yeah, so all these hoppers, did I finish all of them? All these hoppers go funneling down into this end here, where there's going to be, I think I'm doing a regular dropper item elevator, although I should probably switch it out. Oh, no, I'm not. So all I'm doing right now is I'm just collecting them right here. So what I really should be doing, I spent a while coming up with figuring out what exactly design I wanted to use. I guess what I should really be doing is whenever... I really should have a switch for the minecarts, because what happens is when moving entities go into unloaded chunks, there's a bug in Minecraft where sometimes they will either disappear or, particularly with hopper minecarts, they'll stop moving. And I guess what I really should be doing, one is in charge of 2 rows or 2 columns of rails. So there's one minecart for these 2, one minecart for these 2. That way we don't use too many entities. But, yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about the whole minecart stopping thing. I guess what I'll do is I'll have an on and off switch for the Guardian farm, and whenever you go into the sorting system room, which I will show you in just a second, how do I normally get up there? I'll be right back. Yes, so as I was saying, if we have time today, that may be something we do, or I might just end up doing it off camera, we'll see. But anyway, guys, yes, so the Guardian farm is finished, and I don't think there's anything else to say about this other than the sorting system and item collection. So what's going to happen is, you remember you saw that dropper at the end there where I was sending all the items to. That's going to go into a TDL item elevator for 1.9 and above, and that's going to go all the way up over to that platform where the sorting system is going to be. I figured out that, I mean, I'm not positive about this, but taking into account the whole 128 block despawn thing and the, you know, limits of spawning and everything, I'm pretty sure that this is, like, the best place for me to be AFK for both the passive mob farm and the Guardian farm. I feel like the passive mob farm, it's just, like, too big and too far away for it to stay loaded at the same time, but I don't know. Like, the math says this is right, but I just feel like it's not. Maybe one of you guys who are understand those things better can tell me, but I have absolutely no design for this room yet, and I haven't really found myself needing too much of that stuff after I've already built it. Most of the stuff I needed it for were the sea lanterns for building it. But yes. I also wanted to put a squid farm going around in like a curtain around this thing, but that would require removing a lot of water. So I think a squid farm is a project for another place at another time. Anyway, guys, I think that's just about all I have to say for over here. Let's head over to the sorting system, and I'll tell you what's been happening there. Alright, guys, so we're here down beneath the basin in the underground, and in the northern branch, if you guys remember, I was digging some area out for the sorting system, so, oh wow. I don't normally get this much lag, it must be because I'm recording, yeah. there's a lot of stuff happening here. So, the chest and redstone is in just for this wall right here on this side, but I decided instead to just snake around, because that's the way the items are going to go. So, let's turn down blocks for a second. So, basically, wow, yeah, when I'm recording, the lag here is real. And I was even going to put item frames here instead of signs, but, yes. So, the sorting system, we've talked about some of the plans in the past. There's still some iron going through there. Some of the plans in the past, but I've gotten to work on it, and I'm off like a herd of turtles. I mean, let me tell you, this project is so enormous, and I'm not even halfway done yet. And I mean, look at all of this redstone, and there's like stuff beneath too, because, oh god. Like, just making this thing has been a real pain. Like, I'm so glad that I'm getting it done and everything, but making has been a real pain, especially since I've learned something about the whole aligning with ender chests trick. Apparently, even if you make the items go pretty slowly, the items still can skip over hoppers. And I was talking to TDL about it. Apparently, I mean, they have that problem on the Conspiracy server and the Psycraft server, that not every item goes in every single time it goes around. So, for example, the Prismarine blocks are the ones I was doing a test with. I lost about 7 blocks in 9 stacks, which is pretty good, but I wanted it to be lossless. But it looks like there's just no way to fix that without just making it extremely slow. So, unfortunately, we're just going to have to deal with that. Over here is the wall where I actually had to change up the sorting system design a little bit, because I think I have 1 fewer chests, right? No, I don't. I just, I took those out. But, yeah, I feel bad because I'm using some extra hoppers there. But, unfortunately, we've just got to keep moving, because the amount of iron and wood that goes into this project is astronomical. Like, I totally underestimated the amount of resources I would need, and I haven't even started on the multi-item sorting sections yet. This thing is absolutely huge, and this is the end of the other section here, and then it's going to go off into another branch, and then there's a section at the end for non-stackable items, then it's going to snake all the way back around and mirror it on the other side. So there's a lot of stuff here, and it's going to cause massive lag, as I was afraid of, but also as I kind of expected. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do here. I'm seriously low on iron and redstone. And on the one hand, I would be like, I need an iron farm. But I also need a wood farm, not just to build the iron farm, but also because I've run out of wood like that. I mean, there's so much wood that goes into this, not just for the hoppers and the choppers, the chests, and there's so much redstone I need. I mean, I've waffled on enough about the resources, but I'm thinking of building a tree farm first and then getting to the iron farm. Again, I'm not sure how much of that will be on camera just because of time constraints, and I want to do like new, unique stuff on this series. But yes, also the sorting chests are going to be so we're going to skip 2. So you saw there was 1 there. We skipped 2 sections, or are we skipping 3? We're skipping 3 sections, then putting another sorting chest down, skip 3, another sorting chest down, and it'll go like that. And it goes along a water stream underground that brings it all the way over to here, which I have a whole bunch of hopper minecarts there for like overflow, because I'm dispensing them faster than the item elevator is, just so that we get as lossless as possible. And you can see down here is the dropper item elevator, because I don't want to lose a single item. So I'm making sure to use, a dropper elevator, not a glitchy one. And yeah, I think that's enough about the sorting system. Let's get on to what today's project is actually all about. So we're on our way up to the basin here, and this looks probably familiar to a lot of you. I also still need to finish the swords in their hands, of course, but yes, the basin looks amazing. What is that over there? Is that how did grass grow there? I didn't put that there. That's weird. Huh. Anyway, that's really weird. Yes, so the problem is I never envisioned having these nether portals there, and I think while it looks cool from this angle, whenever you go through the nether, you're going to end up in the nether portal, and you're just going to want to go down beneath, because that's where all this fun stuff is, right? I wanted this to be like an entrance to the big base. This is the above-ground entrance where you'll end up, and then you go down the elevator. But you can't really see it if you're in this nether portal, and I just think it sort of ruins the whole feng shui of the build. So I had an idea, and that was an idea for AFK nether portal travel. And what that means is I want to be able to travel between dimensions without touching my keyboard. So I get in a minecart takes me along to the nether portal. This is what would be like in the nether. The minecart takes me into the and then it uses a activator rail to eject me into the nether portal. I am standing in the nether portal. The nether portal takes me through. I'm standing in here when I come out into the overworld. And then, without touching my keyboard, it will push me off into an elevator or a water stream or something and take me to my destination without my having to touch the keyboard. Now, in previous versions, this was a lot easier because, I mean, it was a bug, technically, but they actually put you outside the nether portal instead of inside it when you went through the dimension. And that allowed people to create some really trolly traps, like putting lava outside and everything. But that being fixed makes this really hard to do, because you can't put any tripwires here, you can't put any pressure plates here to detect when the person is standing in there, and you can't use a piston because there's another portal there, and you don't want to just, there's a lot of things that go into it, and we'll talk more about it in a little bit, but I came up with a really neat design that I'm really happy with after trying for months to come up with a good design, and I'm really happy with the one I have. So it's gonna involve a lot of redstone, and I'm gonna start creating a platform beneath here while I have a little chat with you guys. I'll see you in a second. Alright, I lied, no time lapse yet. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it, where I want you to come up when you're centered, and it's really hard, because on the one hand, I don't want you to have to walk too far when you come out of here, so you can, get to your stuff so it's not a pain. But on the other hand, I want you to be able to see where you are. And so, right here, I'm looking straight forward. You can't really see everything yet, and you gotta walk way back here to be able to, see everything to the degree I want. This would be perfect, but it's such a long walk to the center. Maybe we could come at it from an angle. That's possible, right here. So when you look up, you sort of see that. Maybe back one. I'm trying to place down torches about where I think it would best go. I'm aiming, I kind of want some symmetry here, because this whole build is really about symmetry. And right here is great. It's just a long walk. I mean, you still can't see everything if you're looking straight ahead, but if you look up just slightly, that's the perfect view. So I'm just trying to decide, because then look at how long it's taken me to walk over here. Maybe I could put in some sort of a mechanism that launches you forward. I mean, that would be a really cool thing to do. The thing is, it's got to be so fast, because I've got to be able to use it for the rest of my time in TRS's world. This would sort of be a compromised section. So, it's not perfect, but it's one section, one square closer than the original one. I'm thinking right there, what does one more closer look like? Yeah, this, you can't really see the grandeur of the build unless you're looking way up there. It's tough. It's really tough. Wherever we build it, I can't move it, because it's going to be sticking around wherever it is. Alright guys, so a lot has happened since last time. As you probably saw from my video 6 weeks ago, the next 6 weeks, it was called, I have been a counselor and instructor at a summer camp teaching a class on Minecraft game design. It was extremely stressful. I've never worked so hard in my life, but it was also incredibly fun. I also learned a lot about myself, my shortcomings, areas for improvement, things I do really well. It was a very worthwhile experience, to say the least. It was actually kind of cute. I had a lot of kids treating me like a celebrity because I was a YouTuber, and there were just a lot of cool things that I can't talk about all in one video. But I wanted to tell you guys a quick story that my girlfriend told me that really touched my heart. So first of all, just to set the scene, the program I was teaching with is a national program. Okay, so there are locations all over the country, and the general course topics are the same. And my girlfriend lives in Florida, okay? And this summer, she's been working at a department store. So she texted me one night after all my kids went to bed, and I was absolutely exhausted. And she told me that a woman from, insert name of my camp here, was out at the store with her campers. And I mean, I guess it was like a field trip or something, I don't know. But my girlfriend noticed that she was wearing the camp shirt. And she says, "Oh, you work at blankety blank. My boyfriend works there, the Redstone scientist." By the way, she did call me the Redstone scientist in this conversation. I'm not just replacing my real name. And the other woman goes, "Seriously? I love the Redstone scientist. I use TRS's videos in my class all the time." By the way, it turns out she was teaching the same class that I was, but obviously in one of the Florida locations, and she was using some of my videos for instruction. And all the kids start to perk up, and they go, "You date TRS? That's so cool." I mean, isn't that amazing? Like, I totally did not believe her at first. But whether the story is exaggerated or not, it really did make me feel good. And that's just one example of the many ways that, even though I've got such a small following, such a small community, that's just an example of one of the many ways that this makes me feel so good. Entertaining you guys, bringing you guys joy, and all that feedback that you guys give me in the comments, it really makes it all worthwhile. One other thing I wanted to bring up was that I have a brand new Patreon page. Yes, that's right. Patreon is the best way to support me, my channel, and my content. There are a bunch of really cool rewards you can get for being a patron, including a one-on-one adventure map playthrough with you and me. It's your choice whether or not it's a private thing or if I record it and turn it into a series. You will also get to pick the map, and that's just one of the many awesome rewards that you can get for supporting me. You can check out all my goals and reward tiers, as well as become a patron yourself at patreon.com/theredstonescientist. Once again, that's patreon.com/theredstonescientist. Link will be in the description. Again, if you want to support my channel, this is the best way to do it. Thanks for listening to my little spiel here, but I think it's about time we hopped back into the game. Alright, guys and gals, I'm about to get started with building. This is everything I need. It is a big redstone contraption for survival. For such a simple task, it's pretty big. But I compacted as much as I can. More info about it later. I'm going to be doing some progress updates. There will be a tutorial for this on my channel soon. I'm not sure when yet, but I'm going to get cracking on this, and I'll see you in a second. So I'm just realizing that these redstone blocks may cause an issue. I'm thinking maybe I should move it down by one, but nah. If it becomes a problem, one, I could maybe maneuver around the next to it with a lever or something, and if I still can't do that, I could just replace it with glowstone, and it would be okay to just have this one area with some glowstone. I mean, it wouldn't be perfect, but, you know, whatever. Also, it occurs to me that I never actually explained how this is going to work. So, I experimented with a whole bunch of different things. I experimented with using mobs to attack you and push you out of the portal. I experimented with water streams and minecarts, and I experimented with so many different things, and ultimately I decided to use the fact that the player is the only entity that can pick up certain items. I say certain because, like, villagers can pick up, you know, carrots and potatoes and wheat and stuff, but other than that, only players can, like, pick the stuff up. So that's perfect, because basically what we do is we refresh an item every 5 minutes or so, and if the player picks it up, if it's not there for a certain period of time, then we know that the player has picked it up, and that means that the player is standing in the portal. And so it was really tricky to actually maneuver the redstone to make it work, but then when it's ready, when the player's picked up the item, the player's detected in the nether portal, a double piston extender launches them off, it breaks the portal, it relights the portal after they leave, and it's all happens very quickly. So right now what I'm putting in here is this is a dropper elevator to, this way we don't have to have a constant stream of, or we don't have to have infinite items. This basically allows us to, and also, which way is this facing? This is facing, I think, towards this way, I think. But basically what this allows us to do is to have a limited number of items, and then we just recycle them before it despawns after 5 minutes, which I think is really good. Okay, so I'm finding this is about 1,000,000 times harder to copy from my testing world than I originally thought, especially since I'm not going layer by layer, and I'm trying to go circuit by circuit so I can show you guys how it works. And I really want this thing to work the first time. But anyway, I'll show you what I've done so far. So this basically is just the item elevator. If we plop an item, let's say, we got our item in there, and let me make sure it's something we don't need. Got our item in there, it goes up. We don't need it to go all the way up because we'll have enough items that's not necessary, but if we put a whole bunch in there, it'll clock, and they'll eventually shoot out the top from here. At least they should be. Oh, whoops. Right, I forgot to put this here. That should fix it. Okay. So, if I take all these items, I plop them in here, they should... Yep, there they go. They come shooting out the top there. All right, perfect. So, in order to make sure this thing works right the first time, I'm just going to build it layer by layer. I'll probably be mostly finished next time I come back, but then I'll be able to show you a little bit better about how it works. All right? Cool. All right, guys, I am back, and that was actually a lot faster than I thought it would be. Their glowstone is everywhere just to prevent lighting updates, because there's going to be a lot of flash and redstone in here. So, I'm actually going to show you how it works in the testing world where I built it, and there'll be a shorter explanation, less in-depth in the showcase or tutorial video whenever it comes out for this machine. But anyway, it actually works pretty well. Excuse me, I haven't tried it out yet, but I'll show you basically what's going to happen. So this dispenser is in charge of... Also, I need to put some water there. Perfect. So that dispenser is in charge of... the reason why the water's there is just so it sort of like cushions its... Not cushions its fall, but it stops its velocity. It stops its upward velocity, so it'll just start going right down. I'm not sure if it really helps, but it seems to. Anyway, what happens is this is the dropper that dispenses the item. This dropper will have the water in it, I believe. No, this will have the flint and steel in it, and this will have the water in it. Originally, it was a lot cleaner, where I had trapdoors here, and the slime blocks were flush with it, and it was just sort of like a flush with the nether portal thing, but I'm not going for looks. This works a lot better and a lot faster. So it actually is pretty fast, so I have the clock set relatively slow here, but if we just input a piece of cobblestone in there, and 2 obsidian in here, and we wait for the next cycle to go, you'll be able to see what happens when I stand in there. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to pick up the item, it's going to detect that I've picked up the item, it's going to dispense the cobblestone, which represents it's going to dispense the 2 obsidian, which is going to represent the water going boop, boop, in and out, which will break the portal. This is going to activate, which is going to push out, double piston extender. Then we're going to have the cobblestone get shot out, which will be the flint and steel to relight the portal. So, has another piece fallen down yet? I don't even know if I have another one in there. I don't. That would make sense. Aha. So, let's just throw one down. Next time it goes around in a cycle. So, now if I pick this stuff up, and that will reset the portal and do a new item. So I need to clear this out first. The thing is, it breaks if there's manual input, but as long as you don't touch it, it's fine, and I think that's perfectly okay. So, yeah, I'm going to set a few things up here. I'm going to clean up the area, and then we're going to get we're going to get started to trying it out. And if we have time, maybe I'll do a little bit more of an in-depth explanation. No! No again! No again! So I actually wanted to show you guys what's going on here. So, at least how I'm going to be setting it up. So right now, this is the clock that controls... So there are 2 cycles that happen, right? There are 2 times we need to refresh the item. One is when the player picks it up and we're ready to reset the system, so we'll dispense an item. And the other is every slightly less than 5 minutes, because we don't want the item to despawn. Otherwise, we'll run out of items really quickly. So, what we're doing here is we're just filling up a hopper clock with as many items as we can. Now, that's, I think, like 4.5 minutes or something. It's not super important to me that we get closer to 5. This is far less redstone. So basically, the number of items you have in here is the number of times you can go through the portal without having to refill it. And this can hold a lot of items. So, like, I'll calculate it for you in the next clip, but let's just dump all these items in here. The other thing is that this portal obviously is not meant to be gone through from the overworld. Okay, because it's so up high, we'll pretty much always be taken to it if And if we don't, that's, you know, fine. We'll be at whatever other nether portal we want. But if we're coming to the basin through the main area, it will put us here, then we'll get shot out, and if we want to go back into the nether, we have to use the nether portal below the basin, which is fine. That's what I want. Toss the item down again. Whoop. Toss the item down again. Oh, well, it looked like it worked right there. Did you see that? The water gets retracted so quickly. It's all a very smooth motion. But anyway, it looks like it's all set. So let's go give it a shot. Okay, here we go. Oh, yep, that was a great test. That was an excellent test. Okay, here we go. So I'm not going to move. I'm not touching my computer right now. Come on. Okay, that was a lot slower than it usually is, which is concerning. Hold on, I'm going to do another test. All right, let's give this another shot. Fingers crossed. So I just picked up the item. It detects it. Why is it going that slowly? It was not this slow. It was much faster than this. Maybe I could play with the repeater timings a little bit. All right, well, regardless, it works. Even if it's not as fast as I thought it would be. But the next thing is, once we get shot out of here, then we have to get shot up out of the ground, and this is not a complicated part of the build. This is a very simple thing. I'm not doing any translocation or anything, just a simple hidden piston door. So I'm going to start working on that, and I'll be back with you in a second. Before we take a look at the elevator, I wanted to let you guys know that today's video is brought to you in part by Gamefly.com. I used to use Gamefly.com for years before I had a YouTube channel and had no more time, and it was the only way I played games. You could basically rent video games. You create a list of games that you want, they send one to you in the mail, and it comes with a special envelope inside that you can use it to easily send it back once you're done, and then they'll send you your next game. It is extremely cool. It's just like Netflix, but for games. And just for you guys, Gamefly is letting me offer you all a premium, free, 30-day, one-game-out trial. You can sign up for it at gameflyoffer.com/theredstonescientist. Once again, that's a premium, free, 30-day, one-game-out trial, and you can sign up at www.gameflyoffer.com/theredstonescientist. All right, let's take a look at this elevator. All right, cool. That should do it. So let's take a look. So basically, obviously, it's going to be cleaned up. The glowstone, I'm going to figure out. I'm going to make it look a little bit nicer. Obviously, it's not meant to be looking nice, but I had a nice-looking version, but it was extremely slow. But anyway, yes, back to what's happening. So it's closed. There would be dirt blocks on top of it. I suppose I could have put them there. You know what? The only way to really see if it works is to test it. First, let's go into game mode 3. Oh, reminder to talk about lamps. Right, so lamps. These lamps here, it actually turns out I don't think we're going to need to adjust any of them, like adjust any of the redstone in order to make them light up, except for this one. Gonna have to see about what I can do about lighting up this lamp. Alright guys, here we go, moment of truth. I'm gonna walk in the nether portal, and then I'm not gonna touch my keyboard. Let's see here. Alright, here we go, I'm not touching it. Fingers crossed. Work. Come on. Okay, I've picked up the item, I just heard it. It detects it, I get sent up. Oh, hey, it worked! Now, here's something really interesting. This is facing north, and I went into the nether portal facing north on purpose, and now it has me facing south. So nether portals can actually, traveling through dimensions can actually change the player's rotation. I wonder if that can be used in a map to change the player's rotation. Although we have the teleport command. Anyway, that's an interesting mechanic I really didn't ever think about before, is changing the player's rotation. Anyway, it looks like it worked perfectly, so I'm going to do it again, and this time I'm going to be facing south so we can see the full reveal. And I am going to look into I think I'm actually just incorrect, that it actually is that slow. I mean, it is pretty fast for what it does, and for all the redstone there, but I feel like I could make it a little bit faster. I'll look into it off camera. But let's do another test where I'm facing south so we can see the full reveal. All right, I'll be right back. I forgot what we were doing, and I got lost. I got distracted. All right, here we go. Let me face south. All right, I'm facing south. Wait, do you always come out of another portals facing the same direction? That would stink. Oh, that would really stink. I would literally move this entire redstone thing if that were the case. Oh, please. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Oh, yes. I grabbed the item. I'm not touching it. I get shot out. I got shot up. Oh, and look at this amazing reveal. Now, of course, the chunks are loading, but in theory, you know, as I'm running towards there, oh, the chunks are loading in. Whoa! It would probably look even better in the daytime. Mobs over there. Yeah, and also the swords, and I might even have some fireworks go off when you come in here. I'm loving it. Maybe I wish I would have moved it back by one more section, just so we could really have this nice reveal. Oh, that would have looked so good. But, you know what? It is what it is. I'm happy with it, and I hope you guys are happy with this episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. Unfortunately, that is all I have time for today. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, or better yet, hit that subscribe button. Or even, also share it with your friends. Or even better, you can support my channel using either the PayPal link that I have in the description to donate, or you can become a patron and earn some awesome rewards. Patreon.com/TheRedstoneScientist. Also, make sure to check out my second channel, TheRedstoneScientist.com/TRS2. That's the number 2. And TRS in all caps. Thank you guys once again very much for watching, and I will catch you all next time.